Follow my lead, just watch your shoes. Gotta turn the heat up to get this cool. Get that chin up off the ground and flash that smile for me. Put some pep up in that step, it's going down shortly. Got so much weight up on my shoulders, all this jewelry on me. I wear my shades inside cause I go blind just looking down. Like the man sipping Chardonnay on the balcony, looking like a young Elvis Presley. I've been overseas, I've been underneath, I ain't never seen nothing like a prison 12 o'clock. I don't know nobody looking like that, I don't know nobody looking like that. I don't know nobody looking like that, I don't know nobody looking like that. Baby, baby, won't you listen to me? I got that flavor, I know you're dying to feed. I ain't no dancer, just got some hip in my feet. Now throw your hands up. Ooh, you bring the lighter, I got the fuse. You make a fire, I'll add the fuel. Follow my lead, just watch your shoes. Gotta turn the heat up to get this cool. Who you know who looking like this for real? Who you know who looking like this? Who you know who looking like this for real? Who you know who looking like this? Who you know who looking like this for real? Who you know who looking like this? Who you know who looking like this for real? Who you know who looking like this?
What happened?
I don't know. Are you waiting for the end of the song?
What happened?
Click, click, click.
I know.
Says the guy pushing the buttons. Like
Patrick,
I know.
Whatever sound you just made, it sound like you were starting the song from The Lion King. You just went,
I get it. Why are the clicks so loud?
Maybe.
What the heck? I'm turning this
like,
down.
It sounded like a soundboard of
I like how we went through like a
noises.
plethora of other audio issues before this point, but this didn't come up.
I don't know what happened.
I guess
Maybe it's because it was in the
ends,
like sound app. I don't know. Like in
and
the
there's
music app.
anticipatory like expectations. You hear
Click,
the
click.
click, click.
I wish you had heard like a fuck.
I was expecting something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That was my rendition of Click Clack Symphony by Ray. If you haven't heard it, great song.
Yes, it is.
Oh, Ray.
She's great.
The only song I've heard is the one that Patrick played for me in the car.
I would assume it's husband because that
no.
song's everywhere. Oh
No. I guess I've heard two songs. That's the other song, but that's just because the two women on my team who share an office with me sing it all the time.
well, it's an amazing song. Yeah, it's so catchy.
I said to
Joy is super good. If you haven't listened to Joy,
my other team member, I said sometimes I wish they hated each other because that would make it way easier to share an office with them.
Are you all
Nice.
three in an office together, or?
Yeah.
okay, that's enough about non-book subjects. I want to talk about books. I was going to talk about what I've
Time
read.
to talk about books. Yes, you guys have been
And
reading
y'all
a
are
lot
like,
of
no,
other books
save
in the
it.
meantime.
Save it till we start podcasting.
let's
And then I'm
talk
talking
about it.
about
Let's
your
talk about it.
coworkers. I don't care about them.
Well, guess what books they've read recently?
I do not care. Okay, hold
Ray's
on.
biography. Yeah.
Let me
Are
go
you
to
now
my
saying
list.
you're now saying hold on after all that?
So here's what happened.
Yeah, really after that?
I finished Cavalier and Clay. Then I finished the book 3 in the Morning Star series. Which
Can I interrupt you really quick? Did you finish
Yeah.
Kavalier and Clay like the day after the last podcast? Or no, you'd already finished it before
He had
that. I
already
forgot.
finished.
like the
Yeah,
day
you
before.
were done a long time ago.
Because the last section is so short and
The last
I
section
had
was the longest.
no, it wasn't.
It was the
Then
same.
Section 5 was short, is what you're saying. Sorry.
I think the last
6,
section
the one
was
that
short
we're talking about
too.
tonight, was the longest one of all. It was like
No,
by
four
far.
had to have been the longest, and I will die
Guys,
on that hill.
I've got a book right here. While you're talking, I'll confirm.
You
who's
check.
correct.
You check the page out.
Got
So book 3 in
As someone who
Morningstar
reread
series.
it today. Yeah.
Not Morningstar, but the Red Rising series. The book is Morningstar. Then I did Between Two Fires by Christopher Buehlman, and I would love to talk to someone about that book, and I think I'll very soon get to talk to Andrew about that book.
Yeah, he said
We'll
talk about it.
started We Are Legion, and then the next day realized that A Parade of Horribles was coming out, which is book 8 for Dungeon Crawler Carl. So I stopped.
Book
I read
8 of 9. I found out he just said that book 9 is the last one. It's going to be 2 parts, but book 9 is the final book.
But I will
Then,
say,
but why is book 9 is 2 parts? That's 10.
but in fairness, based on what happens in book 8, that makes total sense. Yeah. And then I assumed that was going to be the case.
That we weren't getting 18 books. Yeah.
Well, not just that, but specifically that like 9 was going to be the number. So, so Parade of Horribles, finish that. And then I am back in We Are Legion, and I have 3 hours left on We Are Legion right now. So that's what I've done since. And now I have to remember Kavalier and Clay, which is absolutely hopeless. I'll remember as much as I can.
Lauren is absolutely right. By about 50 pages, this is the longest section.
But it didn't feel like it. 4 felt like such a slog compared to this section. Which I guess we can talk about in such a second. In just a second. In such a second.
Such a second.
4 page, that was the second longest. Second longest. Yep. Since I read this, which I read this right after our last record.
Yeah.
Since then, I read Dungeon Crawler Carl book 8, a book called The Bottom Shelf, which is my Whiskey and Wise book. It's about bourbon.
Makes sense.
I have 2 chapters left in Between Two Fires by Christopher Buehlman. And then I read a soon-to-be-released book from our friend Kevin Wilson. That is, it is just the code name Argonaut is what it's supposed to be called. But that's not the actual title of the book. And it's really good. Like, it's a fun... That was a fun read. So
I need to read that one still.
Well, yeah. I will listen to it when I can listen to it.
He has given me permission to use this. This is for you, Lauren. Patrick already knows this. He's given me permission to use it as my next Whiskey and Wise book.
Oh,
but
that's
half
awesome.
of the guys, since it won't be published yet, half the guys only do audiobooks. So he's letting me record the audiobook version of it.
Oh, wow. That's
for
awesome.
his friends that can't read. I mean, I had someone else
That's
this
really
week
funny that they're like, I refuse to read even one book. Like, I won't do it.
I had someone else this week ask me if it counts as reading if you listen. And I want to point out that for people that have disabilities, that's very ableist language and attitude.
I think if you're being technical about it, it's not like literally reading, but you are still enjoying the story, so you're getting all the benefits of reading it.
No, it's
so I think it's not like a bad thing.
The content is one-to-one the same.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying.
I'm
saying you're still getting to enjoy the book, the story the same way, so I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's just like if you're being technical about it.
Do you look down on people that eat gummies versus like just smoke weed directly?
No, Lauren will take it however she gets it.
Like,
and that's what I'm saying.
I'm not saying I do with audiobooks either. I'm saying it does, like, I was like, there's just like a kind of small technicality.
There is a literal translation, right? The literal translation.
Yeah.
But it's weird to say I consumed a book, right? Like the colloquial accepted.
Yeah, that's why I understand when people like have an audiobook, they say I read it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just anybody, and I know it's nobody on this call, but if you look down on people that do audiobooks instead of reading, you suck. You're a shitty person.
Wow. You just okay. You heard it here first, folks.
There you go.
You really didn't tiptoe around that
Patrick
one, did you,
is just,
Patrick?
yeah, really full of feelings tonight.
And also, reach out to me. Let's talk.
Right now. This is crazy.
Oh yeah, I told y'all before the show, I'm in a great mood tonight.
You are, yeah, you are. Man,
obviously.
I can't picture you in a better mood.
Perfect.
Yeah, it is. It's a weird weird dichotomy to be like, because I go back, like I'm a mix. I read physical books and then I also consume audio books, but I don't go back and forth and say I consumed this book or I listened to this book. I'll just say I read whatever the book is because it's yeah, it's the colloquial term for it. Now, if there's a better term that kind of arises, then, but it does feel like a bit of a separatist. Like there's a like a hard line that some people make, and I think it maybe is a little silly. I'm wondering if there's things that I'm hard-lined about that are an equivalent to that I'm just blind to because I'm pretentious about whatever those other things are. I'm sure there are.
Yeah. We all have things that we're like a little snobby about. I think that's fine.
Not me.
So stupid.
Not even a little bit.
Not me. That's the same aura, Patrick, as you're bad.
Yeah.
Just, the tone and everything just so freaking good. Anyway, okay. What are we doing?
Take us through, Lauren.
You guys ready to talk about the book?
Yes.
Here we go.
Yes.
All right. Well,
we'll see what we can remember from the copy. Yeah.
3 weeks ago. Yeah. All right. Well, today we're talking about part 6, the finale of Kavalier, the Amazing Adventures of Kavalier and Clay. Excuse me. And this is the League of the Golden Key. So I guess I'll try and provide a impromptu summary that that I wasn't ready for.
I think
but this kind of chronicles what happens after Joe is back from, or like what happens after Antarctica. Excuse me. A lot about Rosa and Sammy's life, and their son Tommy, or is it not exactly their son, but like the boy that they raised, and kind of Tommy finding out, meeting Joe in New York, and there's a lot to do with the Senate hearings for the Comics Alliance that kind of started up around that time. So that's kind of the outline, I guess, of like what happens in this section. Did you guys have anything that like you remember that stood out to you, like favorite moments or quotes or anything like that?
So I remember wanting to go and actually research, like I did with some of the other sections, to see if this was a real thing, if the Comics Alliance...
Oh, you're in luck. I did it for you.
I assumed you would, but I don't have anything that stands out other than I really wanted to know if this is a real thing that actually transpired.
Yeah, so absolutely, this is a real thing that happened. Frederick Wortham was a real person, and his book "Seduction of the Innocent" kind of led to the creations of the Comics Code Authority in 1954, which was like basically like there was this like outcry that like comic books were like indecent and like influencing kids to like be little delinquents or whatever, kind of this like crisis of like moral crisis in the United States. And so there were these hearings like the one that Sammy is brought into, that kind of led to the creation of the Comics Code Authority, which I didn't actually know until I was researching this, that it wasn't actually like established as an official law because of free speech, but it still became like the de facto like censor for comic books in lieu of a government regulation. So it was kind of like a kind of you kind of weren't allowed to get published unless you, or like publishers didn't want to publish things unless they had this kind of stamp of approval. You know, and so like if you didn't get it, you kind of weren't going to be publishing through any kind of major publisher. I'm sure there's probably like still some avenues you could do weird things with, but it'd kind of be probably more self-publishing type of thing in the 50s, you know, so it's like even harder.
So it's not like you're going to jail, but it's more akin to you're just going to get deplatformed from all the primary platforms.
Yeah, or like canceled, I guess, maybe like would be like a modern equivalent. And then I thought this was also really interesting that this was only like fully abandoned in 2010. Marvel dropped it in 2001, but it lingered at a lot of other comic book publishers until all the way to 2010, which like that it seems way more recent than I like thought this.
What type of stuff did they ban and regulate?
It's kind of like movie ratings, you know, like all that. So like, you know, sex, nudity, violence, all that kind of like if it's scary or if they're like talking about bad things or whatever.
I imagine a rating scale being like good, really good, super good.
Yeah, it's actually more like you know, like your alignment in D&D. Like this book is like lawful good, and then it can pass.
And there's a scenario in which it gets too good because and then it's like, oh well, we can't put that in front of children anymore if it's that good. I just want to comment on something that Patrick made fun of. I went to put my pencil behind my ear and realized I had my headphones on, but
Sure.
decided rather than I realized it, but
Abandon
decided I was just gonna push through because I didn't want to have the weird awkwardness of me trying to do this and then taking my hand away. So I just went with it and stuck it through, and then Patrick made fun of me. So I just want the
I
record
thought you
to
were
show.
like scratching your face, but no. Thank you for clarifying. I'll make sure to log that in this hearing we're about to go to. I want to point out that all in all, as opposed to one thing really standing out, for me the thing that stands out is that none of my expectations were met for the end of the book. I think I kept having feelings of what I thought was in the box and how I thought the kind of jumping thing was gonna wrap up, or what I thought that relationship was gonna culminate in, or nothing, not a single thing ended up landing where I thought it was gonna land, and so that ended up being dissatisfying for me.
Oh, so that was like one of the things I wrote down. Did you find the ending of the story satisfying? So no.
No.
Like, how would you have liked things to ended then? Like, what would have made it better for you?
Well, hold on. I want to hear Andrew's take on this same thing, and then I'll give my answer.
I kept waiting for Joe and Sammy to kiss, and it didn't happen. No, I
Super
Also
good.
fiction about that. Yeah.
too good. I did a very privately public pronouncement of what I thought was going to happen to you two. And then I think minutes later in the book, realized I was wrong.
Yeah.
Can I tell you? I messaged
Patrick messaged me.
and I said he is going to be disappointed.
I was disappointed. And so much so that I didn't even follow back up and be like, oh, well, shit. Like, I was disappointed enough and I'm like, they knew this. I'm just going to let it be until we talk about
Just
this.
because it didn't meet your expectations, does that make it dissatisfying completely, or do you?
No.
what do you guys
That
think
part
of the
wasn't
ending overall?
dissatisfying. It did feel like they were setting up. They were setting up the golem again to be a part of it. Like, that felt like there was a setup, and it felt like in this book where I've had a hard time guessing at what's going to happen because there's so many things that you can't predict.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, it's very realistic because reality is a lot harder to predict than a typical story arc. I thought for once in this book, it's going to leave me with a sense of accomplishing that I knew where the story was going to go because I picked up on some of the hints about the golem. And so I wasn't disappointed with what the story did. I was just disappointed that I didn't get any of those like those gratifying moments of I finally understand this author and what he's going to do with these characters.
Yeah.
I never got that in this whole book. So from that
I think that's something I
standpoint,
like
it
about
was-
his writing
it
is
just
that
wasn't
you,
it wasn't
it always kind of twists your expectations.
yeah, there wasn't a gratifying nature, but I wasn't dissatisfied with what happened, specifically with that bungee scene. I wasn't dissatisfied. I was just like, dang, I wish I was right. I wish I had been right about that.
I kind of wish you were too, but I think it's I don't know, maybe more interesting that things work out in the weird way that they do, you know?
Sure. Yeah.
But the weird way was just kind of, man, flat sounds rude, but when you read
You're
stuff
allowed
like
to feel that
this,
way.
I expect that during the Senate hearings that he's gonna have some big mic drop moment. There's not.
Yeah.
Or I expect the box
I mean, it kind
is
of
gonna have
is,
it's a box of dirt. I keep
Yeah.
expecting something to have that moment.
So do you find the box of dirt to have no meaning? Because I feel like there's a lot.
I'm not
in
saying
that.
it has. I'm not saying it
I'm
has no
just-
mean.
Yeah.
Because that would be
But-
anti-Semitic, Patrick, if you said that. Just so we're clear.
Yeah, I would definitely not say that.
I am not saying that.
but again, I think the book felt for me like getting a really big box on Christmas Day and opening up and it's a box of dirt. That's what the ending felt like to me.
All right.
Listen, there are children in Africa who would love a box of dirt, Patrick. You entitled piece of shit.
But let's
just
go
any
through the
dirt, yeah.
let's go through it and talk through it, because I know that as we go through these questions and we talk about it, I'll suddenly go
Yeah.
I'm an idiot. That makes total sense.
I will say,
Yeah.
so on that topic before, I do like the very, very ending. I do like the very ending, like the final paragraph, I think.
Yeah.
I loved the...
Wait, what did it
You can say it. It's so like we're allowed to have spoilers now.
Yeah, that's true.
If you're listening to this, you should have finished the book.
The card, the new card, like the address, the address whatever card says Kavalier and Clay. And that just felt like okay, we got. I wish it had come sooner, and there would have been more for what happened, like an epilogue. I would have loved an epilogue.
Yeah. I think that would be
10
fun.
years
But
later,
to me,
blah,
it's
blah,
like
blah, blah.
It feels like a comic book thing where it's like the adventures of Kavalier and Clay will continue. Like
Right.
you know.
Yeah, but it doesn't, and we know it doesn't. So it's like,
But you know what I mean, though. Like I think that's like a good way to end it in a
Sure.
weird way. Like
yeah.
you have to pick some point to end it, and I think this is like a high point.
I liked the very, very ending. I liked the very, very, because it felt like, okay, good. We have a resolve. We got the band back together.
See, I even forgot about the offer to like buy out the comic and stuff. Side note, it's just a box of dirt. Let's get into it. Let's get into it.
I want to call out a couple things that I liked in this section before we move on to the discussion questions. Which one thing that I just thought was like very fun to read was like kind of a lot like. Tommy's a really fun character, I think, in general, but I really liked the kind of scheme that him and Joe cooked up for him to like be able to skip school and like the whole
the
like
eye patch.
okay, like the thing with the like getting the instructions for how to go meet up with him with the cereal box and like the letter from the magic shop. I'm like, this is so over the top, but like if I was a kid, can you imagine like how cool this would be if an adult was like, let's make up this cool thing? Like,
yeah, you'd get arrested. Those people are pedophiles.
Just so you know,
that Joe's letting him skip school so much, but it's like very fun.
just so you know, strabismus surgery is a real thing. That's not a made up thing. There are dozens of us.
There are dozens.
What?
Dozens.
So the thing he's pretending to need is to have an issue with his
the eye
strabismus.
surgery, yeah.
And I also struggle with this same thing. I got an appointment or I got I got a recommendation to a doctor to go see a doctor about strabismus surgery. I talked to a doctor like a month ago, and so then when I was reading the book and it started talking about strabismus surgery, it's like buying a car and seeing the car on the road that someone else is driving it. You like notice it. So I will never forget strabismus was a word used at the end of this book.
Wow. Okay. So there
I
literally
hope you
are dozens
able
of
to
you.
use it as an excuse to get out of work.
I'm saving it until I get really stressed. Then I'm gonna go do it.
His other. Well, I'll leave. Never mind. So that portion of the book, or I guess you're over here. That portion of the book, Lauren, is what got me set up. That's what started me thinking we are. Like I know what's gonna happen because I figured out the code before they said it, because I keyed it and actually went back and reread it before they explained it. I'm like, hang on, he's giving coordinates based on location, and so I was like, oh, I'm getting it. This is fun. I felt like I was in on it, which is what got my confidence up to say to you guys the thing about the golem. And then I just that part.
You love the riddles.
But yeah, I loved that. I love the code word. I love just the concept of, if you've got an iPad, distract them from what's really going on. Give them something to distract them. And this is now the
hairy arms,
the great Kavalier. Kind of speaking, right? This is the magician side of Joe, giving him this opportunity to distract and divert attention so that he can, he can grab the watch, he can take the person's wallet, he can whatever, because if you're looking over here, you don't know what this hand's doing. And I just thought that was super fun and very
very clever.
Yeah, on brand for who Joe was, and just great. And I love that he got to have that moment with his son without his son really knowing that was him, right?
Yeah, like sharing this common interest that they kind of developed, like that he has on his own, like without knowing him even. Like, I think that was really fun. I also like that he has his own made up superhero, the Bug, and how he kind of is like imagining, like, like his spidey senses going off when Joe first sees him and stuff like that. I just think that was like such a fun little, like such a little kid thing to like put in the book. Like there's so many moments that I thought were funny, like of the writing with him where like Rosa says crap and it says, "Can I say crap?" No, of course not. Like, I just think things like that are really fun. That like great writing for a little kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then another thing that I want to call out before we go into the discussion questions is that story about Bess Houdini where only love could pick a nested steel of random locks, which is kind of like the thing of like why Joe decides to like sort of not totally jump off the Empire State Building. But like I really liked that story about like, other people think it was like, her bringing the water or whatever that let him escape, but it was really just like her, asking or whatever. And it's just like that's such a good story, I think, to like tie in with this one, with like all the magician stuff going on again, like in this chapter. And so like I just really enjoyed that little story. I thought it was like a great like kind of.
Is it a true story?
They kind of call it out right away that it's like kind of an exaggerated story, but like it's like
lore.
mostly true. Yeah.
Okay.
And no one really knows if like she brought him a key or anything like that. That would obviously like not be like known or whatever. So like it's just part of the mystery.
It is suspicious that after however many minutes or hours
Yeah.
of him being in that thing, as soon as she brings him some water, he gets out. Yeah.
There is like a legend too, where it's like he was just sitting in there the whole time with them off, and he was just messing with everybody. So it's like
If I
who
was
knows
part
what
of-
the truth is.
I love that.
If I was part of Big Water, I would use this in my advertising.
Yeah, we
Oh,
helped Harry
yeah.
Houdini escape these handcuffs.
Yeah.
But
For sure.
actually, you know what? If you were Big Water, you'd probably want to stay away from Harry Houdini, since historically he drowned and died
Yeah,
from from not being able to escape the water.
from Big
escape.
Water. Big Water
From
caught
Big
up to
Water.
him.
Yeah. So maybe just if you're part of Big Water listening to this, maybe just go on, find someone else.
Yeah,
Go back to
leave
Michael
the magicians
Phelps.
alone.
Let Phelps be your spokesperson.
Cool. All right, well, let's jump right into the discussion questions so we can get into some of the meat of this chapter. So the first question was, Joe seems incapable of leaving his escapist ways behind. What do you think he is still trying to escape from even now after returning?
I think he's trying to escape from his shame.
Yeah.
And I think he eventually does. I think he wants to be back. Like there's a real desire for him to be back with the people that he loves, but it takes him a minute because he's just filled with shame. And eventually it became easier to not confront that and just stay in proximity, but not connected with, until he sees Tommy.
Do you think because of his shame from the war specifically?
I think his shame
It's
from
a lot of things.
everything. Yeah, like I think he feels like he let down the people who did everything. Stupid.
He let them down.
He let down all of. Yeah, it's not.
That was just funny.
That he let down
Like he
his
let down his
family and
family,
friends
yeah.
and his town. You know who got him to America. He let down. Sammy by leaving him high and dry. He let down Rosa. He let down in his mind. He let down his brother. He let down everybody.
I mean, he kind of let down
yeah.
his family by choosing to return. He also kind of,
Right.
he believes, let people down by not being able to rescue anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of every direction that Joe turned, I don't want to say messed up what was going on, but he kind
But
of
he can have-
stole
He kind of
from
failed-
everyone a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of failed his like initial, or what he perceives as like his missions, like that he wanted to.
Yeah,
like,
I think
accomplish.
I think it's all perception. I don't think other
Yeah.
people
And then
look at
killed the
him-
Yeah.
one good guy in the war.
yeah, the one
Yeah.
good Nazi. He was gonna change on Tuesday.
I did also
but
like that line when Sammy asked him about that, and he said, "How did it make you feel?" And he's like the worst person in the world.
Yeah, I think his perception is I fail at everything.
Yeah, and I feel like it's also just like part of his nature is like I have to run, I have to escape. Like escape is such a big like theme in the whole book. Like I think it's like I can't deal, I'll escape, you know, like I'll find this new way to hide.
An escape can be leaving, but escape can also be personality. Like the act, like doing the performance is keeping people at arm's length
Yes.
whenever you're being the persona. So even in the moments when he's reconnected with people, if he's still kind of like being the magician, the sleight of hands, then it's still his way of not actually being with people.
I was
a good point.
asked. I was asked the other day in a conversation. We were talking. It's not a 1-to-1 of this, but we were talking about my personality and about how I am what I would call an ambivert, right? Like I go back and forth between introvert and extrovert. And they were surprised by that. And I said, I said, listen, here's a phrase that if you ever hear me say, will key you into what's going on in my actual head. I said, a lot of times people will say to me, hey, how's it going? They'll say, how's it going? And if I don't want to connect with that person, if I don't want to engage with that person, I will say the phrase, living and loving, just living and loving. And it's such like that's like, it's meant to have this, like, they think that's a fun way to respond. And they think that's a real personality. Like, oh, I'm getting to connect with Andrew. And that's really my arm of like, I don't want this conversation to go any further. So I'm just going to say, just living and loving, you know, just living and loving.
Just walk.
Keep moving. Yeah. And then I just move on. That's my way of saying, I don't want to talk to you right now.
Yeah. I have a friend who does that, says, live in the dream. And that's when you know it's like bad dance. Like I'm like, oh, bad day. Like
I always go like, "Shut up, Steve," because it's really just one guy that drives me crazy.
Get out of here,
just
Daniel.
only one person ever asked you how you're doing. Yeah. Excuse me,
Steve.
I think it's interesting too that kind of while he's hiding, Joe starts working on like that new comic book, the Golem one, and like that's kind of like his original escape was like drawing and creating stories again. So it's like kind of going back to his roots in a way as well.
Yeah, he seems worse
Kind
at
of like
it
in
now,
every
but for
way because
sure.
it's like doing all of his magician stuff and doing the comic book stuff. Sorry, what'd you say, Patrick?
I was gonna say he kind of seems worse at it now. I don't think that's true, but it was just it is so interesting how what he's writing about. It seems, even though they are both a form of escape, the first one seems more like what others would want, whereas this seems very much what he needs from a, it's like his therapist basically.
His mental health.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you're saying that like it's a bad thing though.
I'm not. No, I grew up in a home that deeply respected mental health, but no, I mean it's a good.
They always looked at it from afar and said, "Man, someday we're gonna get there."
No, I think it's a positive thing for him. It's just showing how his escape has now turned inward to some degree and working through his own stuff instead of just making things that appeal to others. I am saying it would be less fun for me to read. I wouldn't buy the newer comic book.
Yeah.
Was that the question?
It was just funny how you said it. So I was asking. Yeah. I mean, I think it's interesting because it is, I think, therapy for him. Like, this is how he's working out kind of, I think, all the feelings that he's hiding from, And so, like, this is actually, like, a good moment of growth for Joe to, like, actually be looking inward for once and, like, kind of expressing himself, even if it's not, like, with words. He's, like, finally getting out, like, some of the things he has inside of him. Because I feel like that's been a problem for him the whole book of, like, not being able to talk about what bothers him.
Yeah, completely. All right.
Next question. So the second question is, what does the final scene between Joe, Sammy, and Rosa suggest about the League of the Golden Key and a possibility of a happily ever after for these characters?
Yeah, I mean,
and this is where I did write, do you find this ending satisfying? But we kind of talked about that.
Yeah. I think I kind of alluded to that. I think this is the idea of a happily ever after. Now, we have had multiple opportunities in this book to have happily ever afters, and somehow the characters, primarily Joe, have screwed that up, have done something to like oh, I'm getting too close to something that's actually good, so I'm going to run away from it. But if I'm trying to be the idealist, he finally has come to this reality after what's the span of the book from the beginning to the end? It's like 12 years, something like that.
I think, yeah, because Tommy's 12, so.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe 13 years because
So 13 or maybe like 15 years, I think, all told. Yeah.
So maybe this amount of life being lived and this amount of kind of coming to grips with his own demons and his own monsters and his inner Nazi. I think that if I'm being an idealist, he finally has come to grips with, if I stick around, if I can be dependable, things can be good. And so that's my hope. I'm hoping that that's where we go with it. But again, we don't have an epilogue and there's no book 2.
I mean, am I supposed to read this as a promise to each other or as a promise to like society as a whole?
I think really to each other is how I took it.
It felt personal. It didn't feel like this was like an allegory for something larger.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's like
to me, I didn't read it that way, but I mean, if you did, then
yeah.
No, I barely remember what I read. So I don't want to suggest anything at this point.
Yeah. I mean, I do feel like it sets up for everyone to be like on a more positive track. Like, I do think it's interesting that like Sammy still does choose to leave, which is kind of like a very different moment for him as well, where it's like, oh, these people are like actually starting to deal with these kind of issues that they've kind of swept under the rug for so long. You know, like Joe's actually like come home and is like doing the things that he, you know, like is responsible for, or what, or like dealing with the things he's, and I think like it will make him happy. Like all he's ever wanted was a family, and like now he can have it, you know? So I think like that he has every reason to try and make things work, you know?
Sammy really did a lot of heavy lifting in this book though.
Oh yeah, Sammy's a champion. Sammy is like Samwise Gamgee, like to Joe's Frodo. Like he's the champion.
I get that now because I read that book.
Yeah. Hey, look, they even like live together at the end and raise each other's kids. It is exactly like Sam and Frodo.
Well, spoiler, I've only read book 1. Thanks.
Well, you've seen the movies.
I was actually gonna say Rosa. Is it Rosa?
Yeah,
Rosa. I was gonna say Rosa is probably the hero of this last
also
section,
another absolute champion.
How forgiving she was to Joe, how understanding she was of Joe. That is something to aspire to. It kind of, I do feel like
she let him off the hook a little too easy, but I think after 12 years I would like, it's hard to stay mad at people for stuff.
Sure. I just watch. Patrick can hold a grudge like no other. Ask him about loyal subjects.
Yeah, I know.
I'm
not built that way.
I do think that time does, they say time, what is it? Time cure.
It's
time
heals all wounds. Yeah.
Yeah. Heals all wounds.
Tim heals all wounds is what you said.
Tim heals all wounds. And there's something to that, we were talking, we were talking before we started recording about losing and gaining friends in a divorce, right? Like that's just a thing. And there are some friends that I lost in the divorce that I've now circled back with. It's been 5 years. And we've now circled back and are reclaiming some of those friendships and things. I think that's a reality. But I think her heart behind all of that got a little undervalued in this last section, but it was not. I caught every moment of like how gracious she was to.
Yeah, I really liked the
Joe.
chapter where Rosa's like kind of getting ready, like thinking to herself and like making dinner for everybody as they're like coming home from this Empire State Building adventure.
She's
and,
not
like,
seen Joe.
Yeah, like and I do like if you think about it though, like she also like felt guilty for telling Joe to like put his brother on that boat, and so like and she also thought he was dead. So I think like that kind of softens you up quite a bit when the person comes back. you know, and I think so
true.
it's very complicated, like, emotions between everyone in that group, you know, and so like I feel like you'd probably be more happy that he's back than anything, than what these other negative feelings might be. But
don't know, I'm pretty vindictive.
yeah, I just feel like she's like a really cool character, and I meant to say this earlier, but like I like that they kind of established her as like she's creating her own comics and is like kind of joined the League of Comic Creators with Joe and Sammy, and is like just as good as any of them. Like she's probably made like just as much money selling her books. So I think it's like very cool that like she was like elevated in this section as well.
Yeah, I like that.
It's very cool. Shaking your head.
No, I mean, it just, it's to me, it's more of the same. So that I don't think I have anything to add to that beyond,
She's cool.
like, yeah, Rosa good, Sammy good, Joe is getting a lot of grace from everybody, and very easily could have had nothing to come back to.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Yep.
All right, we'll get to the third
Tommy
question,
as well. So
Yeah, no kidding. All right, third question. The Golem of Prague comes full circle with its return to New York City. What is the significance of the Golem in this story, and how does its themes of creation, memory, and protection reflect on the overall novel? So this is like the big question. And then I'll tack onto this. Why do you think it returned as Clay?
Okay, I want to take a step back, though. Back. Before we find out that the Golem is the friends we made along the way. Was I supposed to believe there was like a dead body in the crate? Like, was I supposed to believe
for a second,
that someone was like trying to escape Prague and got in the crate, and then like it's just like a dead body? Because that's what I was. That's where mine was.
That was
the whole
on the
time.
table for sure. Because that's why Joe smelled it. Yeah,
That's the implication, is that there's somebody tried to do what he did, and it didn't work out. Like that was because he was so nervous for Tommy to be the one to open it and wanted him to leave the room before it was open, like all that stuff.
Yes,
so that's
I
for
totally
sure
agree.
the implication. Yeah.
And
So,
I don't
like-
think that they were sure that happened. They were just like, if this is true, this kid cannot be in the room when we open it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I was making sure I was like anticipating all this correctly. Then it was a box of dirt. But I know we immediately had the moment where it smelled like home to him. I don't know what I think the significance is in terms of the
Can I
Golem
kind of
overall.
add a piece of this that maybe is
Sure.
missing for you? Is that the Golem is always created from clay.
Mm-hmm.
So like the
Yeah,
clay
it's
is from the river in Prague. That's why it like smelled like home.
Oh, so basically, even though it is because it is the Golem, it is the Golem has deteriorated back to clay, but you're saying that the Golem could be rebuilt at this point.
Yes.
It's
like
a
all the
perpetual.
ingredients.
Yeah, it's like you have the same.
You were going to call it a perpetual stew?
Yeah, perpetual stew. Yes.
Perpetual stew.
What's a stew? What's a Jewish word for stew?
Chutzpah.
Stew. Not quite. I don't know like a Yiddish word for stew. I'll think about it.
Is Yiddish? It's not Jewish. It's Yiddish.
Or Hebrew.
Okay. Hebrew.
Yiddish is like all those words like chutzpah and stuff that you're thinking of. Though, so I think that's what
Okay.
you're looking for. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah,
I mean-
it's all the pieces. Yeah, it's kind of like you come from the clay, you return to the clay, that kind of thing. But
So-
you can be risen again.
You can be created again. So to me,
Mm-hmm.
that's the part that would stand out if I'm comparing this directly to Joe, is this idea
Yeah.
that you can have this elevated moment. You can come from nothing and still have this amazing moment and kind of return, at least the way he felt about himself, to nothing, and then rebuild that life that he still wanted. So it sounds like
Yeah.
that cycle and this idea that it's never gone, even though the form shifts over time, that it can always return to that state. So that's how I would associate this to his journey.
Yeah. I think another. Oh, go ahead, Andrew.
Well, so yeah, because I feel like you have maybe a little bit more insight than we do. So my my feeling on it was that I was a little confused. Are they saying, is the implication that this is the same box that he was shipped in, and this thing has been in storage somewhere? It's been moved around to different places, and it's finally like returned to sender or something after all. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
How does it get to him?
That
if it's
part
the
I
same
just
box?
find there's not a clear explanation. It's
That's
kind
the
of just
golem
mysterious that it
magic.
ends up with,
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's kind of just the a little bit of magic somehow. It.
How do you
makes
say
its way
magic
to
in
him.
Yiddish?
I don't
Jesus.
speak Yiddish.
Okay.
But yeah, I think I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think
No,
getting
Patrick
back
should
to
be
him is just
apologizing.
kind of the mysticism of the situation.
But it is
you
the
know, kind of
original
it was like
golem.
a secret society who was letting Joe use this as a way to escape in the first place. So someone in that secret order has made it sent it to him.
And did they send it to him as a reminder of where he came from? Did they send it to him as an encouragement?
Yeah.
Did they send it to him as a warning? Did they send it to him as a hey?
I want to hear book 2 when this was a war. This was the head, the animal head in the bed. That's what I want this golem to be.
I don't mean a threat. I don't mean a threat. I just mean
you wake up and there's just a tiny model golem
Yeah.
just sitting on your pillow.
I don't mean a. That's funny that you said that because my friend Jason was just in Prague and he bought
he
a
got a
tiny.
little one, yeah.
He bought a tiny golem.
No, I think you sent a picture to us. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really
Yeah.
cute.
Not he. I don't mean threaten. I mean a warning of get your life back on track. Don't forget all that was sacrificed, not just from them, but don't forget that the golem sacrificed himself for you to have this opportunity. That's what I mean. A warning, a gut check moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit of all those things, and maybe, warning is an interesting word, but yeah, I think it's just kind of, it. He's
Does
the last
lesson
person
sound better?
connected to it.
A lesson, does that sound better than warning?
Yeah.
I thought there was going to be a
the
dead body
moral or
in the
something.
dirt.
And there could have been.
I did too.
I mean, they do kind of mention the thing where when the golem has a soul, it
It's
heavier. It's heavy because of that. And so when they found the card from Joe's dad in there. So is it kind of meant to be a representation of his family sort of in all the
because
weight
they said
he's
it was
been carrying?
heavier than that much dirt should be. That's
Yeah,
what I said.
I think they're again, it is kind of a funky magic thing. I also think kind of just going into the legend of this stuff is the golems are created as protectors of and Joe's now maybe doesn't need that anymore. It can go to rest. The golem can its job is done, so it can kind of turn itself off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it is kind of a thing where it's they take their purpose from when they're made, and then when it's complete, they turn back. So
Yeah.
I think
I can get on
maybe
board
that's
with
a
that.
piece of it. And then I think another piece of it is that in this whole part, he gets the box with that, and he's getting all the boxes from the Cornbloom Vanishing Cream offices, and that's the story that he's created with this new golem. He literally, the way that you make a golem is that you speak life into it, and so he's brought life into this new story of a new golem that he's made, and I think that is kind of to me sort of what that really is a big piece of.
Would you say that he used his kishef, which of course we all
Yes.
know is Yiddish for magic?
Yeah. Now we know.
How did
So
you
to be-
get Hebrew letters in the keyboard?
Yeah, I don't know that. But
That's
anyway.
crazy.
But to be clear, he did not. Okay, and I know that I'm changing the subject from the golem. Seems great. To be clear, he did not repurchase the comic, right?
He did
No,
not repurchase.
He buys Empire Comics without the Escapist.
No, he did. He didn't buy it, did he?
Yeah, well, no. At the end, he says Sammy, you can't leave. I just put in an offer.
Oh, that's right.
To buy it.
Yes,
yeah,
that's right. That's right.
Oh, but I did. But we don't hear that it was accepted, though, right? We
I
just
think
hear he
it's
put in an offer,
I
and then
assume that
Sammy
it would be
leaves.
because when they met with him earlier, he's like, I'm so ready to be done with this shit.
And he did say, and Sammy was like, "Well, I can write stories from blah 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 and send it to you. I can."
I really should have read. I really should have reread this again. Okay,
Yeah,
makes sense.
But what I think what you're remembering is Sammy backed off of that idea after Joe said he didn't know if he wanted to spend his money on it.
And
Joe does kind of waffle on it, he's kind of
Right.
afraid to do it because it is kind of fully giving up everything that he'd been putting his like hopes on for so long, you know, like because he saved that money for his family and like they're all literally dead, so he has to like kind of grieve through this.
But I think that's what made this last section kind of unsatisfying for me is like, is there a dead body in the box? No. Are they going to buy the comic? No. Are they, it's, whatever the other ones were. It was just like, is he going to do a mic drop moment at the Senate hearing? No. There were just all these like
I mean, the mic
setups
drop
for
moment
it.
was that like Sammy got like outed, so like that's kind of a big deal. Like,
Yeah, but that's kind of like a reverse mic drop. That's like the mic.
I mean, not for us, but like you know, like
I'm not gonna finish that
he
statement.
mentions that he feels like a burden's been lifted afterwards. So I don't know. Like I feel like it is a big deal.
Emotional
So whatever.
growth is not the same as a mic drop moment, to be clear. But
And he's
Okay,
not
I
the
just
one
think-
mic
I don't know,
dropping.
whatever.
He's getting a mic dropped on him, and it ends
Yeah.
up working out right. But like, yeah, I hear.
and
what
he
you're
ends up
saying.
being healthy, but I'm not looking for emotional health. It was like moment after moment where I thought like this thing was going to happen and you're led to believe it's going to happen. And then it just doesn't work out that way. And that's fine. But in reading it, I had these like, aw moments kind of one after another when going through this last section.
Yeah, I feel like it didn't. If it didn't have that last paragraph, the story would have been hard for me to feel like I got what I paid for by investing in this story. There was a little bit, where I softened on on all of the characters really, in kind of the final stretch, but then it pulled me back in right there at the end with that one paragraph, right? Just the visual of seeing the card with it scratched out and it saying Kavalier and Clay on it. Like I just thought that was an emotional beat, and it was necessary for the end of the book for me to kind of come back and go, okay, yeah, I love these guys as a pair. I didn't love what they did separately, and a lot of the book focused on what they did separately.
Yeah.
Specifically Joe, and then I liked the idea that at the end, okay, we're coming back. We're back to something that I believe.
And it starts like
It's
on
all
such
team again.
we're like straight up Ocean's 11 in the first part of that chapter. And I think that was the other thing too, is I was coming off of section 5, which is, it feels like a different book altogether.
Yes.
And then dropping into section 6 and we're back into like heist mode or whatever's going on. Like I was, oh my gosh, I was so in. I was so in. And then I just started like falling off, unfortunately. Overall, I still enjoyed the book. Overall, I would still recommend the book to someone. But for the high moments that we got, like it was either section 2 or maybe section 3. Section 3 was like this just huge highs of excitement. And then going through this whole story, obviously all of the loss and the sadness and his personal struggle and disconnection and trying to find family, both his literal family and new family. And then kind of we fast forward and it seems like maybe things are going to get back on track. And then at the end, Sammy leaves. And it's just kind of, and these like big moments don't kind of pan out. Obviously Joe got what he needed, but I think that's,
I think Sammy did too, and I think he'll come back. I think he just needs some time for himself.
Yeah.
Some time.
But I
at
just,
least my
it
take on
never, it didn't end in that high moments from like section 3 or the first part of 6. We just never returned to that high.
It's definitely not like an easy, simple path. It's not a real happily ever after. It's very
Right.
complicated, and like Andrew said earlier, a lot more like real life than kind of
It's
a
more grounded.
simple
And I think
Hollywood ending.
The more we talk about it, the more I realize some of the things that I love about this book, I've said in almost every session, has been the parts that are grounded in reality, the parts that feel like historical fiction. I mean, this is a historical fiction, right? It is.
I liked all the cameos from like Stan Lee and Jack Kirby in the beginning.
Right, and
too.
if
that was
a
fun.
lot of the actual events that happen in the book are real historical events that they write a narrative into, it's a true historical fiction. And so from that standpoint, I kind of applaud the fact that they kept it so grounded in reality, where there isn't an actual ending where we see what happens, where it doesn't all wrap up in a neat, tidy bow. Like, so, I may be coming around to the idea that it didn't end as as satisfying as we would have, or as gratifying as we would have hoped, or as I would have hoped. But it's that very fact that kept me engaged in the book, the rest of the book, which was, this feels real. Like, this feels, there's a reality, and there's a hyper reality that they add on top of it, but it feels like a story that actually could happen to somebody.
I'm not connecting this because of subject matter, but as you were describing that, it sounded like the opposite of the Inglorious Bastards, like culminating in people like literally kicking in Hitler's head, like the revisionist history to like all the way to the extreme win for the protagonist. So in some ways it is the anti that.
Yeah. Like it's like it keeps itself with all these fantastical things around, it keeps itself here, and it keeps a level beat all the way through, which is there's a humanity, and a broken humanity not always at its finest, and humanity that has ups and downs and wins and losses, and I guess
what I needed,
complex characters.
I needed on the last page, I needed there to be one more last page, and it's like the box of dirt forms the shape of an eye and then winks, and then like then I would have been there.
There it is.
Little, ding, little sparkle, and then I'm in.
Just needed
the box.
some more
The box
magic,
moves. Yeah, like it's panning out. It's panning out, and then the box just
wiggles a little.
Patrick's back in, baby.
Yeah.
Back in.
Yeah.
I think it's because of all of what we just said that I think that's part of why it won the Pulitzer Prize, right? Because it's a grounded human story with kind of a hyper story kind of appended to it, but it's a redemption story, but not a hero story. It's like
I think that's a nice way to say it.
A personal redemption story, and something to be aspired to. There's something in each of the characters to aspire to. With Sammy, it's that you would step up in in
loyalty,
the case of adversity, and really be there for somebody. For Rosa, it's the idea of forgiveness and how to welcome somebody back in who has deeply hurt you. And then with Joe, it's humility, right? Like the humility to come back after you have so severely screwed up with the people that you love. And then with Tommy, it's your dad will always come back. that's what I'm hoping for.
Eternal optimist.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's probably why it took home that Pulitzer.
Very different kind of book. It always keeps you on your toes. See, this is a magician part of it,
Yeah. We've never done this with books, but what's our rating system? Is it still 1 to 10?
Yeah.
Is it A to F? Is it 1 through 5? Like what's our rating
Great
system for
question.
books? Because we have to do that. We do that with every show and movie that we watch, right? So
I kind of like doing a different system since we use numbers for movies. If we do grades for books, since it's letters.
A through F?
Yeah, why not?
Or A through M?
What's M?
Masterpiece.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, let's not do that.
A is for a real piece of shit. And then A through F. Okay, then what would you rate it, Patrick?
Do we do any pluses or minuses, or we got to give it a straight letter?
I would do
Plus or minus is cool.
Yeah. I think it's fine.
B minus.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Warren?
I'm going to say A+, but I picked this book.
You said A+? I think I'm a solid B.
Okay.
Maybe B+. Maybe B+. Because, like I said, I think I've come back around to some of the things that felt disappointing were the things that were maybe they were real, and the things that I loved about the book was the reality. So I think I have to honor that, my own code that I set up. So
that's
maybe
fair.
a B+. I think I'll give it a B+. Yeah.
I'll take it. Well, this was
So now-
great.
So
I'm
now
glad at least got passing grades.
yeah. Oh yeah. You weren't gonna fail. I mean, yeah. Now here's the real question: how do we decide our next book? Patrick, you threw out an idea.
Good question.
Right before we started recording.
I threw out an idea that we take our Andrew, either yours or Lauren's or mine or some combination. And we got an A- from Kreider in chat.
From Kreider,
we take some combination of our listing history, we plug it into Storygraph, and basically let Storygraph give a recommendation. I also maybe like the idea of us coming into a book blind where none of us have read it before.
Yeah.
Now that means that we won't be able to prep questions ahead of time, and that's fine. But I think it would be very maybe us have like a set style of question that we walk through or theme of question, but we're actually having a conversation where all of us are seeing it for the first time. But that's my idea, is to go through Storygraph. And then beyond that, timeline wise, I'm wondering, and this is maybe not a right now thing, but I'm wondering if we also want to tighten it up a little bit. Like, I know that we thought giving people more time would mean more people would participate. And
I actually people have dropped off.
Yeah, and I actually think that
just,
maybe
like,
we could
read the whole book and do it, like, unless like things like that.
Do a long form discussion too. Yeah, like an actual
and then Andrew will provide snacks.
Mm-hmm.
And just do it that way. So I think maybe we go that direction instead.
I
But
definitely think timeline can be tweaked. It was a little longer than expected, but hey, it was our first try, so we live and learn.
I think we partner with DoorDash and we get a promo code, and everybody who participates gets 70% off their DoorDash snacks. Yeah, that's what I think. Patrick,
that's easy.
That?
Yeah. I will work on that. And then if it doesn't happen, well, I did my best.
I will have had done my best.
I will have had done my best. So if we want to, we can go that direction. And I can even, we can start plugging stuff into yesteryear and see what comes out of that. But certainly, no, not yesteryear. I'm so sorry.
I don't even know what that meant.
There is
has entered the game.
I had a book list pulled up, and yesteryear is a book a lot of people are reading right now. I think it's about like a trad wife that gets actually ported back into...
yeah, and I heard they're making a movie of this.
A Chad wife?
Trad.
Like traditional wife.
Like a traditional...
That actually gets teleported
like
back in time.
Version. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but then anyway, that's literally all I know about it. I know it's really popular right now. I happen to have a chart pulled up, and
it got bought to be a movie by Anne Hathaway, so everyone's talking about it.
I'm sure.
That makes sense. Do we want to set a potential stipulation? I have a. Do we
that
want?
It can't be yesteryear? Is that your stipulation?
Yeah, I don't want to read anything with traditional roles.
Okay,
I have a hard stance against that.
No,
can we not choose a series? Can we choose a standalone book?
Yeah.
Because
I think
feel
that's
like
fine.
Red Rising book 5.
Yeah, we'll just do Red Rising.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I think that's a reasonable stipulation.
Yeah, I think we do a standalone because I think, if you don't,
I think that makes everything easier as far as book club goes. Yeah.
Any genres off limits?
I don't think so.
Okay, then let's do this. Let's take. I would love to figure it out this week.
Yeah,
but
I'd like to know sooner rather than later. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna just do a Storygraph from my perspective, put in all my reading, see what comes out. But I would suggest y'all do the same. Maybe if we can each come up with like 1, 2, 3 suggestions, we can throw them in a pool. But let's pick something that none of us have read before.
And
it's a fun idea.
We said this to the community who tuned in. I want your suggestions too. Like throw books into our Slack channel. I want there to be. This is not just for the three of us. Like this is intended to be. It's been fun to have Tom be a part of some of these discussions. It's been fun to have Kreider for a handful of them. It was awesome to have Kreider in that one episode.
Yeah.
Like I think the more people we can have a part of this shared experience. This takes us back to early days of our podcasting. This is the sandbox. This is the thing that that was the thing that really juiced us up. Was to do that thing that was just a shared experience with each other. And I want to hear from you guys what you would want to read.
But if y'all don't suggest anything, we're doing another Buellman book. So
I don't know what that means.
that's the author for Between Two Fires. That's
Okay.
I'm saying we're doing
Or I-
another Buellman book.
Or I suggest that we start this.
You just said no series. You just said no
Listen,
series.
I'm
Listen.
a man of many opinions.
As soon as I finish We Are Legion, I'm going through book 8 again. Absolutely. I'm going to finish We Are Legion, jump back to book 8, and then I'll do the second part of We Are Legion.
I actually think I'm going to go back to book 1 again and go all the way through it again.
Oh,
after I,
Wow.
I'll do it too.
okay, but I have to finish the Lord of the Rings first. So I have Two Towers.
I'll already
next,
be
and
done
then
by the time you finish that.
I know.
I'll go through the whole thing again.
Well, read his other books. This is a
Yeah.
great book that we won't do here because Patrick and I have both read it. But this is a gothic horror book.
Yeah, it is. If
and
this was a
it's-
TV show, I would be too afraid to watch it, and I loved the book.
And if this were a movie, it would be A24.
Yeah, absolutely. Gosh, I enjoyed it.
What a wild ride this book.
And you're not
is.
even done yet. The last literally 2 chapters are probably my favorite part of the book.
That's where I'm at. I have 2 chapters left. So,
They're
Wow.
so good.
There you go.
it's I'm at the saddest part that just happened.
Yeah.
That's sad. It was sad. There's some sadness. This
Sure.
book takes place, Lauren, in 1348 during the plague, during the Crusades.
Yeah, when people
Yeah.
talk about their favorite modern authors during this book, they're talking about like, who are they talking about? They mention a couple authors, but it's like,
I don't know
Never
what
mind.
you're referencing.
Like Shakespeare. Or something.
It sounds like you
Yeah.
don't either. So-
well, the girl in the book, she will quote some of her and her the people her dad would read.
oh yeah.
And they quote them as though they are modern people, and it's funny because they're all these like historical figures, and it's just funny like hearing it in that like casual name drop. But anyway,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Lauren, I think
Casual
I
name
think you
drop
would.
of Shakespeare.
I do think you would like this book.
Yeah.
It's
It looks
I
really
think
cool.
I know who they name drop, and I'm too scared to say it because I don't want my years to be wildly wrong. So I'm just not gonna say it.
Say
but
it, Patrick. Say
won't say it. But it's a
This is a
great
safe place.
book. It's a great book, and the ending is very strong.
it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Putting it on my list.
So we're doing Dungeon Crawler Carl for the next book.
But we're gonna read the whole series before we talk about it.
Yeah. All. How many pages is this? It's a lot.
But yeah.
That
This
many books.
19.
Have you ever
pounds
seen
worth
that video of
pages.
the girl who took all of the Wheel of Time books and put them all into one book, and it's like this long?
A compendium?
Yes, in fact, she actually. You're talking about. She made it into the big like scroll, like Rolodex to go
No,
open
it's
the
not
book.
a scroll. It's an actual like book. She
It's
like
a-
I
put
know,
a
but-
cover on it.
It's
and
a
painted
bound
it,
book
yeah.
that you have to.
She did a bound one like that because I if you're talking about what's her name on YouTube, I watch her channel. She
Yeah,
then
yeah.
went back and she made a version that's like a 360-degree, like you scroll through it like a giant Rolodex. It's
Yeah.
Oh, that's
hilarious.
cool.
Yeah, it's good.
Love it.
I had a
All
thought,
right.
otherwise I had just
Uh,
said we don't do a series, so I'm not going to make that suggestion. All right, so we're all going to do Storygraph.
Cool.
Sean, you're committing to doing Storygraph.
We're all committing.
It's $49 a month. You can cancel after the first month though. You don't have
It
to.
it is not $49 a month. You can use it for free. Nerdforge. I couldn't think of Nerdforge. That's the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Okay. We got there. We're going to drop our stuff into Slack this week. Let's land on something because I'm about to be sitting on the beach and I would love to be reading a book while I'm sitting on the beach. So,
Sounds great.
all right.
Thanks,
so I
guys.
guess-
This was fun. I'm
Yeah,
glad you
I guess-
mostly liked the book.
No, it was good. It was good. Lauren, it was a good pick. It was a good pick.
Very good pick. Strong way to kick this off for I mean, genuinely, like it's a really good test of how these conversations can go and subject matter and everything. Okay, I'll stop talking, I guess.
Yeah.
No, this
Patrick
so
wants to be
loud.
done.
It's
Yeah, it is
so-
very.
it's-
It is not talk overable. Like unless you're shouting.
it's loud.
It's
Yes.
so loud.
Okay,
It
I
was like
guess I'm
okay.
Oh,
Stop talking
hold
now.
on. That's not me. I'm sorry. On my restream, my audio is set to like auto adjust level, and so because I stopped talking, it just shot the music up. That was not
It
me.
sounded
No.
like you were talking me off the stage.
Yeah, you definitely like Oscar him.
No.
Yeah. You played the
No,
music.
that's not what I was. It was the gain control. I just turned it off. I
Great.
just turned it off.
Look at Kreider. Look at. He's on the 30
Yeah,
second
thank
delay,
you.
so
Thank
he's
you,
now
Kreider.
catching all of them.
No. So is this loud right now? Is it loud?
There's no music now.
We can't hear it at all.
That's the exact level it was on, and the auto gain control just shot it up. That's not me.
Bro.
That's so weird. That's
Yeah.
wild.
It was akin to me to me talking and you taking an air horn and just going.
I think it was the equivalent to you just being like, "And you're done."
Yeah. You may as well have muted me. That's basically what happened. Anyway,
This
all right.
platform.
We gosh, you can't live with it. You can probably live without it. if I were to guess. All right. Well, I guess we will call this one done. Thanks for sticking with us. If you read along, we will drop some new the new book over in our Slack channel. Probably put it on social media. So just go to Mof1 podcast, and we'll probably drop that on Instagram and just let you know when that book is assigned, and then when we do the new season of this, our next book club discussion. And sounds like we may be changing it up a little bit, maybe just doing a single longer form session. And so if that's the case, we'll put all that info on social. And I guess otherwise, if you're not joining us on Slack, where we can have conversations more regularly, go ahead and do that. It's mof1.network/Slack. And you can just go to our website, click that little Slack icon. That's that hashtag. And join the conversation in there. Otherwise, Lauren, thanks for kind of our maiden voyage of this. You're the maiden in our maiden voyage.
There we go.
So we appreciate it. And for now, I think we're just going to call this one done. I'm Andrew.
I'm Lauren.
I'm Patrick.
Peace out.
Adios.
Bye.
Started something and we're not going back, like light in the match, and it's trying to catch, like falling so fast, chemicals react. Tide is high, taking me back, and I'm never the same. I'm feeling at home when I'm calling your name. We're carrying on when it's starting to change. Tide is high, started something and we're not going back, like light in the match, and it's trying to catch, like falling so fast, chemicals react. Tide is high, but we keep on moving, taking me back, and I'm never the same. I'm feeling at home when I'm calling your name. I can't be enough when it's starting to change. Tide is high, but we keep on moving. Something and we're not going back, like light in the night. So we keep on catch, like falling so fast, chemicals react. Tide is high, but we keep on moving, taking me back, and I'm never the same. I'm feeling at home when I'm calling